Hey everybody, Tyre Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Might have botched my intro just then. But that being said here, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's had a good week and having a good weekend to start out with. Weather setup this weekend isn't going to be anything crazy here as far as severe weather is concerned, or even really precipitation. But there is a marginal risk, and it's a notable marginal risk. It's very conditional. There are a lot of fail parameters that are working against this really coming to be, but if things could come together, we could possibly see a tornado over here towards eastern North Carolina and maybe a damaging wind gust too. So I'm going to just really get into the nitty gritty real quick here. The details that we have here, and the main inhibiting factor is going to be cloud cover. It's going to really kind of keep the daytime heating at bay here. But if we can get a little crack, like let's say for example, right over here, and if we get any sort of initiation out ahead of a cold front, which is coming through right now, just kind of lagging over here, I would say. It's not really being shown as well on this map. I have to actually go back a few frames. But the cold front being right around here, if we can get any sort of weak daytime heating to emerge here, we could have a little bit of problems on our hands over here. Oh, I gotta get the pin off. There we go. Sorry about that. But like I said, if we can get any sort of daytime heating here, forcing ahead of the cold front could allot for some storms. And if any of these storms end up discrete, the severe threat could go up. I don't see a slight risk being issued with this because, like I said, cloud cover amount is going to be enormous, and this will kind of help limit some of the forcing here. Front's not a super strong one, so that's another factor that kind of goes into it here. But if like I said, any sort of weak daytime heating, kinematics are more than suitable enough for severe weather, I would say. But for the most part, I'm really leaning against it. But also, if we look at the jet from the mid levels, it is pretty strong. Not much in the way of a tilted trough or jet at this point. It's really looking more neutral, and I think that's another inhibiting factor here. Moisture return would be moderately sufficient, but outside of that, I wouldn't really put too much merit into this at all. By Sunday, this is out of here. Could be left with some pretty strong winds. We'll get into just exactly what those values could be. And then cold air really is going to start to rush in late Sunday night into Monday here. Also, we'll start to see some increased amounts of warm air starting to head into the southwest in particular as well. So don't be surprised to see some 90s and triple digits here also. So let's go ahead and look at our temperature map here. And we'll see a great representation of what I was just talking about perfectly. Like I said, anywhere towards this pocket here, I don't know why that just happened, but anywhere towards this little pocket that we were just talking about here, notice how we get into those mid 70s. Like I said, that's really going to be the point to watch. If we get any sort of cracks in those clouds for the sunlight to come in here and just heat the surface just a little bit, it's not going to take much, just a little bit, we could get some decent instability going and get these storms to really fire off here. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really sure if we'll get that cloud cover to break because it's been pretty persistent across this entire region. Been experiencing the cloud cover here myself in Atlanta over the last couple of days too. But as that front clears and we get into the following day here, which is Sunday, where a lot of the southeast here struggling to get out of the 60s and the 70s for highs. For the most part, outside of South Carolina, I mean, in Florida, really a lot of the southeast here, even into the deep south, including Texas, a lot of places aren't going to get past 70 here. Some people won't even get past 60 towards the Tennessee Valley, and the Ohio Valley may not even get past 50 in some places. Like over here towards Indiana right here, there's a lot of places that are struggling to get past 50. And then pretty much even through the heart of the country, overnight, we could even see some below freezing temperatures coming into play here. Towards the mountains, we could even start to see some teens coming into play, especially today. Then that's also existent into tomorrow. So, like I said, it's going to be pretty cold for a lot of us throughout the weekend here. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but we've been seeing fall trying to work its way in for the last week and a half or so. So the story continues with that. As far as Southwest, like I was mentioning before, don't be surprised to see some 90s, especially towards southwestern Arizona. California is also another spot where we could see 90s. And then as we continue to roll forward here, there was a spot here where I think we could see some triple digits. In fact, there's some right there. And then outside of that, when we start to see the next cool down, we still stay pretty warm over here. We stay in the 60s and 70s across a large part of this region here. So it's still going to feel pretty toasty over here. If you like warm weather, this is the place to be. If not, then almost anywhere else is better. But this is pretty much what we're looking like as far as the temperatures are concerned this weekend. The wind gusts is another big topic, or at least in my eyes it is, because with these 40-degree temperatures and 20-mile-per-hour winds possible throughout the weekend here, it's definitely going to make things feel a little bit more uncomfortable. Towards the Ohio Valley and the Northeast, you're a little bit more used to the cold weather, so this isn't going to bother you a lot, but it's definitely going to feel different for sure. So off the Great Lakes in particular, that's where those really strong winds are coming in. These are also winds coming from the north, so it's definitely going to make things feel a lot colder. Towards the southeast, we need to look out for that as well, because it's going to definitely feel a lot cooler than it actually is with 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Atlanta, for example. And then also just off the mountains, that's where the strongest wind gusts are going to be as well, where we're getting up to about maybe 40 miles an hour at times, possibly. So this is going to be persistent all throughout the weekend as that low pressure and that front passes through. And it's really not going to die down too much during fall. I mean, we do often get stronger wind gusts over here towards the southeast. It's not uncommon. But like I said, just beware of the wind gusts, because this will definitely make the index temperature, or feels like temperature, a lot different than what the thermometer is showing you. So that being said, just make sure you may need some extra clothing. Especially if you work outside like myself. So be prepared to stay insulated for a little bit longer. Monday's also going to be a pretty cold morning across the eastern half of the U.S. here, so stay on your P's and Q's. That's all I'm really going to say there. And then last but not least, we're going to look at the precip map. Not much to really talk about outside of today. Like I said, here is the main region of interest right here towards the eastern part of North Carolina. Get some forcing going. They could get a couple of pretty strong storms here, maybe see a tornado develop, possibly. Likelihood isn't super high on that, not much confidence to be said there. And then after that, picture looks rather clear. We have areas of moisture coming in from the north, and you could see a few scattered showers, some drizzle here and there. But it's really not going to be until next week where we get the next big storm system coming in, next chances of rain, severe weather, etc. So rather quiet weekend across the board for a lot of us. A little bit chillier. Fall is just making its presence more known. No real surprises there. And we'll just have to keep an eye out for what's ahead here, which is going to be probably the next video tomorrow morning. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button, decimate that subscribe button, obliterate that share button, and let me know in the comments what the weather's like in your area. But outside of that, it's been Ty, your Metalhead Weatherman. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and have an awesome weekend.